Welcome back everyone. I hope you enjoy your first video. And now let's move on to the second video of our lesson. So for the second video, you are studying the blueprint 6. And the lesson is still the lesson 3, which is about the world cuisines. But in today's video, we are focusing on the grammar point. And those grammar are the past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. Some grammar book call past perfect progressive, but they are the same. And the lesson that you are learning in this video, you can find in your course book, which is on page 27. And if you open your books to page 27, you will see the lesson there. So without any further ado, we will get started our lessons now. So in this video, what you are about to learn. So here you will learn the form of past perfect simple and the form of the past perfect continuous. Along the way, we will discuss on the usage of each tenses. We will talk about the use of past perfect simple and the use of the past perfect continuous. And finally, you are going to practice some of the exercise in your book along the way with this video. So without any further ado, let's get started with the form. So when you talk about past perfect simple, we have the word perfect here. We have present perfect and we have past perfect. And the form here is had plus a past participle, which is the verb 3. So here the example of the positive or affirmative form. He had enjoyed the party. So he had enjoyed the party, which is the form of past perfect simple. Or he's enjoyed the party, and we can use the construction form, which is a short form. For the negative sentence of the past perfect simple, we just add not in the middle of the auxiliary verb and the past participle. So they hadn't gone to bed until late. So this is the negative form. For the question, we just invert the subject and the verb had. So where had he put his wallet, which is the question form. So again, the main idea of the past perfect form, what you need to remember is very simple. You need to remember had plus a past participle. So this is the form of past perfect simple. So how about the form of past perfect continuous? Okay, here you can see the form of past perfect continuous is a little bit different. We use had been plus ing form of the verb, because been is the verb 3 already. Okay, so had been plus verb ing. Look at the example. I had been waiting ages, or I've been waiting ages, which is the positive form. The negative form, we just add not between the past participle and the verb had. So I had not been paying attention, or I hadn't been paying attention. And again, for the question, it's very easy. You invert the verb had with the subject. Was the ground wet? So you say had it been raining. Alright, so I hope you know and catch up the form of the past perfect simple and past perfect continue. Let's we move on to the usage of each of the tense. So first, let's talk about the past perfect simple. So to talk about the past perfect simple, we need a situation here. So you look at the situation here. There are two people in the canteen. So they are at work. So Martin is telling a colleague about the dreadful day he had yesterday. So the man will talk about his dreadful day from yesterday. So this activity or action happened yesterday. So let's look at what he is talking. So I feel really tired when I took the trains to work yesterday, because Sarah and I had been to a party the evenings before. We haven't gone to bed until after 1. I hadn't been on the train long when I had a bit of a shock. I suddenly realized that I've left my wallet at home. Then I began to wonder, had I left it in the office that day before? I just couldn't remember. I wanted to go back to bed. I feel awful. So this, as you can see, the word they are written in bold in a dark black here. These forms are written in past perfect simple. So why they use a past perfect simple here? So let's look at the explanation. So this situation, all of these happen in the past. We have took the train, feel tired, all of those happened yesterday. So when we talk about things before the past time, we use the past perfect. So look at the example. Sarah and I had been to a party the evenings before, which means before he took the train, before he felt tired, he and his wife had been to a party. Okay, so had been to a party happened first in the past and followed by took the train and feel tired. But the main idea here is that all the situations are happened in the past, but for the past perfect it happened before another past action. As you can see, I've left my wallet at home. It's also happened in the past. It before he took the train and before he felt tired. So here, if we are looking back from the situation of the train journey to the earlier action, going to a party and leaving home without the wallets. So this is the main idea of past perfect simple. Generally, you will see the usage much clearer if we are written it in with the two set of tenses. We have past perfect simple along with the past simple. Okay, very good. Now let's move on to the past perfect continuous. So again, we will see this situation. So let's read this one. I fell down the step here and broken my leg. I've taken a bus into town and I've been swimming in the pool here. Okay, so again, the word written in bold, they are in past perfect continuous. So let's look at this situation. David, here's David, is talking about a situation in the past. I fell and I broke my leg. When we look back to something before this past time, we use the past perfect simple. Or in some case, we can use past perfect continuous. So here, I had taken a bus into town and I have been swimming in the pool. But why we use a past perfect continuous here if we can use past perfect simple? Alright, there is a slightly difference between choosing past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. It is the same as present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, because we use the past perfect continuous for an action which happened over a period of time, because the activity swimming here went on for some time before David broke his leg. Okay, so again, if we are talking about past perfect simple, we're talking about the completed action. When we talk about the past perfect continuous, we talk about the continuous action happened before the past action. Okay, so now everyone, let's move on. We will compare these two to make it much easier for you to understand. So here, if we are talking about the continuous activity, we are talking about over a period of time. Something happened over a period of time. I found the calculator. I've been looking for it for ages. So the activity has been looking for. It's happened over a period of time. While here, we use the past perfect simple to talk about the complete action. I finally bought a new calculator. I've looked everywhere for the new one. So you have looked means you find everywhere for the new one. It's already finished. Okay, It's already complete. Normally, we use the continuous form with a phrase saying how long because we focus on durations, while we use how much and how many with the past perfect simple because we focus on the completed action, right? So here one, I hope you can see the clear differences between the past perfect continuous and past perfect simple. It is the same as present perfect continuous and present perfect simple. So now everyone, after you learn some of the form, some of the usage, here are some of the practice exercise. This exercise you can find in your book on page 27. So now let's do this exercise all together in order to make sure that you can catch up with the lesson that we learned today. So in the sentence, if the sentence is correct, write okay. If it is incorrect, underline the error and write the correction on the line. So let's start with the first one. They lived here for years before they meet their neighbor. So now, what's wrong with this one? They lived here for a year before they meet their neighbor. So the problem is that they have lived here for a year, which is the past action, and it happened before the other past action. This one you need to use past perfect simple. Number two, he hated the New York winter because he hadn't adapted to the climate. Okay, this one is the correct one. Number three, in the past, people couldn't cure disease because they didn't discover germ yet. So what is the problem with this one? We don't use the word didn't because it happened before the word couldn't. So here we use past perfect simple. Very good. Number four, when we took the test, we have been studying history for weeks. So do you remember the form of present perfect past perfect continuous? Been plus verb ing. So here we have been studying history for 4 weeks. So now everyone, that's it for the video lesson, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in your online study group because your homeroom teacher will always be there to help all of you. So now it's come to the end of our video lesson. Goodbye everyone, see you again in the next video.